hello. Welcome to Mel and Friends. Tonight we have hold on one second, y'all. I'm thirsty. Tonight we have a jam-packed fun night in store for you guys. I have on two new beautiful friends of my tribe, Miss Trinika and Miss Vanessa. And tonight's topic ladies and gentlemen, is 40 really the new 30? Okay, so we have everyone on this panel tonight is either 40 or on their way into the 40 club. And we're just going to talk about relationships, love, mental stability, all those great things as we go into our 40s. And so now, if we can get one of these pictures up of one of these fine young ladies so they can introduce themselves and how they know me. Who is that? Yes, Vanessa, with your fine self, honey. Come on in and tell us who you are, what you got going on, and how do we know each other? All right, Vanessa, I'm not sure if the audience can hear you. Are you on mute? No? All right. Give it just 1 second. Give me just 1 second. Let's put Trinika's picture up and we're going to come back to you, Vanessa. Let's see if mark here. Trinika, yes. Come on with your bad self, Miss Nika. Trinika. Hey.
Hi, my love.
Tell us who you are and what you got going on and how do we know each other? How are you a part of my tribe?
Hello, everyone. My name is Trinika. Me and Mel know each other because I was stationed in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and we met at an event that we went to together, and we've been sisters ever since. I retired from the military, 20 years, 5 months, and I am currently a JRTC instructor. And 40 is great. I'm now 41. I will be 42 in 2 weeks. And I'm just grateful that I'm still moving and grooving. My mind is still young, but my body is slowing down a little bit, but that's okay because I keep it going.
Yes. Hey, y'all, can y'all just put Trinika's picture back up real quick so we can see this baddie bombshell we have on the yes! Okay. Come on, baddie.
20 years.
Miss baddie bombshell, 41 years old, 41 years old.
In 2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, I'll be 42. I'll be 42 in 2 weeks.
Come on, I ain't never seen a 42-year-old looking that good if you ask me. Like a glass of fine wine, friend. Yes.
Thank you, love.
Who's next? Ooh.
Could that be me?
Girl.
Is that me?
You fine, boo.
Well, y'all know I'm T. I've been, privileged to be here a few times. I'm actually on my way to 44 in December. Yeah. Mel and I know each other. We met from kickball, and we just became family. And
family.
That's just what it is.
She comes to my Christmas, my holiday dinners.
Okay.
Family. Holiday dinners, family, and that's it, right? Just family,
right?
Because people swear up and down we together,
right?
But it's my.
She ain't my type either.
You're not my type either.
Good.
Okay.
As long as we gotta understand it.
All right, who's up next? Who we have? Who's gonna grace? Oh, look at that,
look at that.
Ooh, that's
Wait a minute. Okay, who is that?
Y'all,
now, she might be my type, but
not me.
No, honey.
It's all good. Hey, so this is one of my favorite pictures. That's my hair is giving me life in that picture. I'll be 39 next month. I have an 18-year-old.
On his way where?
On his way to Howard.
Ooh, where?
Howard.
Where?
Oh, yes, honey. So I'm 39 years old, and this topic for me, because I am moving on that stairwell to 39, and I'm feeling away, and I'm feeling away about my life, what I have going on mentally, spiritually with my job. And so I felt like it was a great conversation that we may be able to help women that are going into their 40s, just to talk about what's going on and how you feeling. Now, Vanessa, I think you're on mute. And so we're going to put your picture back up because you're bad too, boo. I got some baddies on my tribe. Look at Batty. Yes, 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 yes. So tell us who you are, and take your headset out if we can't hear you, just in case. Nope, nope. Pull it all the way out. Can't hear you. Nope, still can't hear you. I'm not sure what's going on. Log out and then come back in to me, and then but we're gonna keep the show rolling, keep the show moving. So still can't hear you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Log on out and come on back in with us. All right. Yep, your lips are just still moving. I can't hear you, friend. So we're going to keep the show rolling. Vanessa, when you can get situated, let us know. So first question for you lovely ladies tonight is, let's go with Trinika. Trinika, when you were transitioning, when you were going to that stair step of 40, how did you feel when you were you're 39, transitioning to 40? How are you feeling when you were moving towards that stair step?
I was a little overwhelmed because it was like, you always saw people when you were younger getting 40 and you're like, oh, you better be old, you old. And it was a little overwhelming, like, wow, I'm going to be 40. Like I'm no longer going to be in those 30s. But actually closer it got, it was like, hey, I'm blessed to see 40. I look good. I don't look, I get it all the time. Like, there's no way you're in your 40s. No way. And it's like, oh, I am very much so in them. And I'm grateful to be in them. So once you kind of get that out your head that, hey, it is what it is. Let's keep it moving. It's just another number. You change with wisdom and knowledge. But as a woman, you just continue to grow. And I just feel like I'm just continuing to elevate myself as I get older. So it doesn't even faze me.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that, because I'm trying to get to a place where getting to 40 is not phasing me, but I'm feeling a way because I have an 18-year-old that's going to college. I'm transitioning into being 40 years old. Would you say that you felt good transitioning to 40?
I was like Trina said, I wasn't just overwhelmed. I was like nervous and scared because like when coming up, 40s over the hill, looked at it as being old. And when I think about some of the people looking 40 when I was like in the 80s, they look old as hell. I'm just terrified of growing old. And I know it's a blessing, trust me, it's a blessing, but it's also when you start seeing things change and you're not ready for that change yet.
Right.
Because in my mind, I'm like 24, 25.
Right.
But my body's like,
your body's how old?
Right. Yeah, real old. Probably about 80 something.
Your body's 80?
Not only am I 44, I've had 18 surgeries. So that put a wear and tear. But I feel like I move around better than these 25-year-olds.
But you feel 80?
No, I mean, I have my days.
Okay, Trinika, let me tell you a secret now. That body, ma'am, that body is a straight 25 years old, ma'am. Okay? Okay, I need you to understand. Trinika, do you feel 40, or do you feel like when people say 30 is the new 40? Do you subscribe to that? Do you believe that 30 is the new 40?
I don't believe that 30 is the new 40. I believe 40 is 40. It's what it is. It's what you make it. You like T says, when we were younger, we saw 40 and they looked old. There are people, I have students that's like, no way you're in your 40s. Like my mom is out, like, stop, don't say it, because we are who we are.
They look them 18, 17, 18-year-old, they look about 67. They don't look 17. They look old. Right.
And it's the life that I believe also is the life that you've lived. Some people have had, some struggles in their life, and sometimes it shows on the wear and tear of their bodies. But like T said, my mind, I'm still in my 20s. I'm still living my best life, traveling. I get down with it, making knees, but them knees hurt the next day.
Trust me. Ice them a little bit, put a little bit Bengay.
Right.
So, Trinika, let me ask you a question. If you could tell, with the wisdom that you have now, if you could give your 30-year-old self some of that 40-year-old wisdom, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. What would I tell my 30-year-old?
And T, that question is coming to you also. And I'm going to answer that question also. But T, if you're already ready, go ahead and answer.
I would say don't rush it.
When you say don't rush it, what do you mean?
Don't rush growing up.
Okay.
Like, I was adamant.
But you're 30, you grown.
No, I'm talking about when you're younger.
Okay.
Like enjoy the moments, because when I look back, Like I'm coming, this year's my 25th high school reunion.
Ooh.
I'm like, damn, where did the time go?
Right.
But I think we get so caught up. I think in your 30s, you're in between so many stages in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're settled, but you're not. You're maybe, you know, reaching a level of in your career, but you're not there yet. You know, so it's like an in-between stage. But like the day of my 40th birthday, that earlier that day, I just like felt so much weight off of me. And now like I feel like I'm just really truly just taking life for what it is. I'm not trying to rush nothing. Every day I wake up, I thank God for opening my eyes and putting my feet on the ground, and I just live in that moment.
Right.
And I don't want to rush. Like I'm like, when it's Monday, I'm like, I don't never say I can't wait for Friday. Like I literally take each day and enjoy each day as it comes.
So your 40-year-old self, 45-year-old self.
I'm 43, about 44. Don't do that.
Excuse me. Your 43-year-old self
Yes,
would
ma'am.
tell your 30-year-old self to enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment.
Enjoy the moment and don't rush it.
Don't rush it. Because it goes by like that.
Okay, pause because I have a rebuttal for that.
Okay.
Baby girl over there with the 25-year-old body.
Okay.
Your 30-year-old self. What would you tell your 30-year-old self?
Continue. I didn't rush it. I just lived life. I enjoyed it. I was more so just excited. I was excited and still a little nervous because, you know, in your 30s, I had 7 more years till I was retiring. So it was like, oh, wow, this is really coming. Like she said, it happens really fast. It's like, whoa. But I would just tell my 30-year-old self, just continue pushing, continue doing what you're doing because don't settle for anything. Continue to be who you are and don't worry about what people are saying because you can't make everybody happy.
Right.
You know,
that's a good one. Don't worry about what everyone else says because
everyone
you can't make everyone happy.
Because everyone will tell you, oh, you should have been married by now. You should have had 2 or 3 kids by now. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
It got to be something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with me. I just choose not to settle. I don't have a problem with being alone. I have a problem with settling. I'm not going to settle because I worked too hard to get to where I am.
Right.
Would you have settled in your 30s?
Would I have settled? Probably not.
Based off of what you know now, the person that you become, everything that you worked
Pre-retirement,
for.
though.
Before retirement, if you met someone that didn't meet everything on your checklist when you were 30, would you have settled?
Well, I've learned about that checklist.
Yeah.
Them checklists need to let them go. Because I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. There's no such thing as, in my opinion, just my opinion, there's no such thing because everybody's never going to meet what you want. You just have to be able to compromise and come to that middle ground and be able to accept some things. You got to ask yourself when you're in those 30s, you know, okay, you're not no spring chicken no more. So you can't be sitting here demanding stuff like you all that in a bag of chips because you're not. So I've learned that, you know, I've learned to throw that checklist away because, hey, you know, hey, do your thing, boo. I mean, I just feel like just being able to compromise. You have to be able to compromise with a person. And I would not have settled, even pre-retirement. I still wouldn't have settled, but I would have been okay with compromising. But to a certain standard, because sometimes you find yourself compromising with things that's going to change you as a person and not for the good.
Right.
I like that. I like that statement. Hey, Vanessa, let's do a sound check real quick. Can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yay!
We have sound. We have sound. So, Vanessa, I want to come back to you so you can introduce yourself, so you can tell us who you are to me. How did you become a piece of my tribe, a part of my tribe? And then the question that I was going around asking everyone is, what would you tell yourself in your going into 40? Because I know you're not 40 yet. Transitioning to 40. What would you tell your 30-year-old self?
Okay. So first, I'm Vanessa. And I appreciate you thinking that I'm not 40. I actually just turned 41 this year.
Welcome to the 40s Club.
Thank you. And I met.
We were turning 40 together.
I don't know, but it's okay. I appreciate that.
Right.
But I became a part of Mel's tribe when we met one time we met at work, which apparently we were going to be enemies. We were going to be enemies, and they didn't know.
What they say about his friend?
We were going to be enemies the moment we met each other, and they didn't realize they just started a beautiful friendship that we consider each other family now. And that's why We're talking 10 years strong.
10.
Hey.
10. Didn't somebody say they wanted to be a fly on the wall when we met each other?
Ooh, yes, they did.
And what happened when we met each other?
We embraced each other's energies.
Okay.
I said, come on, sis, let's make this money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we've been tight ever since. So I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of my tribe, always supporting me, always loving me throughout my madness. I couldn't ask for a better friend. And 41, goodness gracious, why did I think we were going into 40s together? That's my bad, friend.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll take
You are
it.
the baby.
I am
The baby.
You're the baby of the group. Yes.
Right.
41. What would you tell your 30-year-old self?
I would tell my 30-year-old self to pace myself. Just really pace myself. Yeah, because kind of like, along the lines of Shanisa was saying, where you feel like you have to kind of, there's not a checklist, but kind of like, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Write your own plan and just kind of stick to what you want. What are your goals? And make goals that are really, that you can see yourself achieving within a year, 6 months, and then kind of celebrate yourself for that milestone. I think sometimes we forget to celebrate ourselves, especially when we're in our 30s. We're so ready to take on the world that we forget to embrace the moment.
Embrace the moment. Okay. Embrace the moment. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, y'all. So in all honesty, again, I chose this topic because I am having not a little bit, a lot of anxiety as I transition into 40, even though I have 2 more years. It's like, I feel like I'm not grounded. I feel like, there was hold that, Murph, please hold that comment up so I can finish my statement. Then we're going to address this comment. I feel like I'm not grounded. I feel like at 30, 30 is the time that you're supposed to know yourself and figure out who you are. And then 40 is a time that you're supposed to blossom and bloom. But I was 19 when I had my son. And so I lived for my son. I worked for my son. I worked for my family. And so I wasn't living for me. I went hard for my child because I didn't want him to be a statistic, right? So my identity was centered around my son, right? And then I got married. And so my whole identity was, how am I going to be a good wife? How am I going to continue to be a good mother? And not knowing and learning and trying to figure out myself. And so now that I'm divorced, my son is an amazing child. He's getting ready to go to college, again, Howard University. My daughter is in a talented and gifted program. She just got all A's. She is, oh girl, if I can pull her artwork off the wall right now, she is an aspiring artist, just a beautiful energy, beautiful spirit. And so I live for my children. So my struggle going into 40 is, I don't know who I am. And I'm trying to figure that out because I spent my 20s and my 30s serving other people instead of trying to figure out myself, right? And so that's my struggle with my job, with my relationship, is just not knowing exactly who I am and what I want in order to be my best self as I move into my 30s. And I think that is important, is that you got to love yourself. You got to know yourself in order to be able to show up for yourself. But as women, we have to put on so many robes and so many cloaks. We have to be a mother. We have to be a wife. We have to be like, I'm a leader at work. And so I say all that to say, that's why I'm struggling moving into my 40s, is because I feel like I should know everything. I should know more, and I'm not there yet. And so I see the person, the woman that I want to be at 40, and I know I have a long way to go. Does that make sense?
I think with that, I can't speak as far as being a mother, but I feel like your whole identity was a mother, right? So even for me, if I'm living and everything I do is for somebody else, that gives me purpose, right? So not to say that you will no longer be a mother, but it won't be like hand in hand, like they're on the way off to their own lives. So you're looking like, oh my God, now I have to look at me. What's my identity gonna be? You're still a mother, but now you're Melise, And you got to figure out what makes you happy. What, like, who are you gonna live for now?
Right. I gotta live for myself.
Exactly. And still be the
And
mother,
still be alone.
but you're gonna have the little empty nest thing going on. So I think that because it's easier when you have that hat as a wife or mother. That's who you in that moment. That's who you are.
Right.
And that mother thing never goes away.
Right.
But they're going off their own little way now. Jordan will be, on her way doing the same thing. And then you're like, okay, now I got to do everything for me. I got to live for me.
Right.
What am I going to do that makes me happy?
Right. And that's where I am right now. So I go back to answering my question that I asked everyone. What would you tell your 30-year-old self? I would tell my 30-year-old self to try to carve out some time to get to know you, to get to know who you are in your 20s, in your early 30s. So when you get to 40, there's no anxiety. There's no midlife crisis. There's no, it is fabulous at 40. It's embracing your 40. And right now I'm having a hard time embracing because I spent so long serving other people, serving my family, serving my friends, and not really pouring into myself. So I would tell my 30-year-old self to pour into you. To love you, to serve you. You are the only you that you're ever going to have, and you can't be in service to other people, not your children, not your spouse, unless you have figured out who you are. Shanika, would you say that you know yourself better at 40 than you did in your 30s?
Absolutely, I do. I definitely know myself even more, and it's more so because even with hearing you say about being a mother, I think it's the new chapters in our life. We move on to new chapters. It's not necessarily that we don't know ourselves. We just move into the new chapter. When I retired, I tell people and they laugh. I say, I felt like Denise off the Cosby Show when she didn't know what she wanted to do. I had all these qualities, all this big resume, but I had no clue what interests me anymore because the military was my life. That was what I knew, to take care of other people and help people. So now I'm in this new chapter and I'm just learning a little bit more every year about who I am and what I love to do. And I had a list of things I wanted to do in my life. And then I just continued to check them off.
Ooh, what's the last thing you checked off on your list, friend?
Ooh, child, you know me. I travel. I like to go. I'll be trying to sit down. It's hard. The last thing I did on my list was I went to Jamaica to a all-inclusive resort, and I got on a horse in the water, child, in the water, because I always wanted to ride a horse. So I got on a horse and I actually rode the horse. So that was like one of my things I wanted to do.
Yes. T, you have a list?
Do I have a list? No, I don't. Like, I'm just kind of like, because it's just me.
Right.
I mean, I feel like I can adapt.
Oh, pause 1 second. Ladies, friends, this one right here, she's single. So if y'all know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that wants a good-hearted, good-spirited that's gonna pour in and uplift. This one right here is amazing. Okay, like if you was my type friend, girl. but in all seriousness, y'all, she's single and she's not gonna put herself out there. She won't even get out there and date, and it's so aggravating how she wants somebody and she won't put herself out there.
It's not putting myself out there. It's Colombia.
Let me talk.
It's Colombia.
Let me talk. So, long story short, if any of you ladies or gentlemen is watching this podcast, this one right here is the truth. Okay, that's all I have to say. Now finish your statement.
Forgot what I was saying.
You
said, did I have a list?
Oh, no, yeah.
I don't. Well, okay. My transition into 40. Well, my 30s was a little different for me.
Okay.
Shanika, I joined the military in 2004, and I deployed in 2005. And during my deployment, I got injured. So I did like almost 5 years until I got medically retired. I had several back surgeries from that, and I moved back here. So my 30s, and then at 32, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So my whole 30s was, fighting that. Mm-hmm. So that's why in my 40s, I was
looking at your breast.
I ain't got them.
but yes, sure though.
No, girls, I'm trying to breathe.
Oh, you was giving them a little razzle dazzle tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a little sperm. Okay. But anyway. But so man, just going through all that, man, I used to take life so serious and just be angry all the time or just, now I'm just so laid back. I mean, I have my moments, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm just so laid back. I'm just gonna take life as it comes, and I'm just gonna deal with it in that moment.
Okay.
I don't have a list. So
no
I don't
list.
have a
Absolutely. I love it. Absolutely.
I have a list. I did write down a list because there's some things professionally that I want. Mm-hmm. And then I was always told that if there's a goal or a dream that you have to write it down.
Okay.
So if you don't write it down, then you can speak these positive affirmations. Mm-hmm. But if you don't write them down, then they're not going to come to fruition. Mm-hmm. But there is a comment and it says, why not? From Why Not? And Shanika, I think this is something that you said. What are the distinguishing factors between settling and compromising? How does one know when he or she is doing one and not the other? Thanks. So once again, what are the distinguishing factors between settling and compromising? And how does one know when he or she is doing one and not the other? Thanks. So Tanika, you said that question was directed to you. What's the difference between settling and compromising? And do you settle more in your 30s and you compromise more in your 40s?
I'm not a professional. That was just me. So settling means you're just literally, because for me, when I talk about this, I'm talking about marriage and kids, because society tells you at a certain age you should have kids, you should be married. Mm-hmm. And that was a big thing in my family. And they just kept like, well, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And when you're settling, you're just grabbing Joe Blow just because of somebody to have and have kids with. I'm not going to settle for that, because that's not, I'm not being true to myself, and I'm not being true to that person. And it's not fair to them because I won't give my all. Compromising is, okay, I don't drink, but you drink, right? So you want to put your beer or whatever, that's cool. Is that really something to argue about? That's really something that's going to affect me for the love that I have for you? So it's just, you got to know when you're just settling, just getting something because someone's telling you that's what you need to have, not because you really want that. Versus compromising is, does that really bother me? Is that really that serious for me to be arguing a breakup with you for? Like, we have to really think about those things. You got to come to that middle ground. When I'm saying compromise, I'm saying come to that middle ground. You know, it's not all, you're not always right. They're not always right. Everything I think that is right, it's not. Me and Melly, even with fashion, like sometimes she'd come to my house when I was stationed in Fort Jackson. I'd be like, well, I don't like that. And she'd be like, well, you could do this and do that. And I realized I don't always have to be right. We both love fashion. We both love clothes. We love to put things together, and that's a compromise, coming together to come to an agreement to bring something together to make it great.
Listen, and this girl can dress, and y'all think I have clothes, honey. Friend over here got a closet that I want to shop in, okay? Friend over here has some clothes and put some nice outfits together. Can we put back up her
Don't do this.
I'm
from Florida. I'm from Miami. What you want from me? I'm from Miami. That's what we do. We dress to impress ourselves.
Right. And see, that's why I feel a disconnect in Columbia. Because if I put on like that, I went to brunch, the other stuff I had on, and they're like, where are you going? Brunch? Bitch,
like, why are you? They think you dressed up, but
like,
that's you, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Listen, my motto is when in doubt, overdress.
I always do.
Overdress, because what you gonna say? What you gonna look at me like?
I look good. That's what you're gonna say. I look good.
Famous?
Who are you?
You know how many autographs I done signed? Shit.
Listen, and she's serious about these autographs.
Look, I swear, like, people will come up to me and say, "Can I have your autograph? Are you somebody famous?" Like a couple years ago, I was a MMA fighter. When my hair was short and blonde, I sure signed them. When I lived in Miami, walking down, I had people asking me. I sure signed them.
Listen, I cannot.
I mean, shit.
So
live your best life.
Live it. Back on topic, and not this girl signing autographs, which she does.
Am I lying?
No, okay. She really signs autographs. Because people think she's somebody just because how she dresses in her 40s. Right. But
oh man.
So I would like to think that we have a different level of discernment from our 30s to our 40s. I know some women, when they get into their 40s, they're so pressured to settle as opposed to compromising that they're willing to accept and willing to endure just about anything to say they have a man.
Oh, yeah.
Or to say they have a woman. So this is a two-part question. I'm going to kick it over to you.
Okay.
Do you think men settle or compromise more in their 40s versus their 30s?
Do I think men settle? I think the older, and this is just from some my siblings. I think the older men get, they're looking for somebody to take care of them. Because the whole time they're dating, like as long as they're 21 and whatever, they're fine. But eventually, you know, they need somebody to take care of them.
Okay.
So of course they're gonna settle for the best caregiver
in their 40s.
Well, maybe not their 40s. It depends on what they're going through. It might be 50, 60, but at some point they're gonna go down.
They're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Unless they have enough money to take. Unless they have enough money to pay somebody to change it. Hey,
I mean, that's just, you know.
Do you think men settle or compromise in their 40s?
It's just the person. I can't say it's the age. It's the person. The guys that I meet are in their late 30s, early 40s, and they just still living their life. They're doing their thing. So I can't really say that they're compromised, because I don't think in your 40s you're at that stage unless you have something going on with yourself that you're looking for that person to take care of you. You're looking. I think you're still just having a good time. A lot of people, some men I do see in their 40s that are looking for that wifey material.
Yeah.
But they're still confused. But some of them are still confused. Like they say they want the wife, but
because they want the wife, but they want to be single when they're single with it, whichever in the moment benefits them.
Right. They ask for something, and then when they get what they ask for, I want
Listen, hey, Marvin says, damn, we looking for someone to take care of us. Listen, we don't know.
I want somebody
we don't know. And I'm like, how are we supposed to, this is an answer from a woman's perspective, okay? So don't think it's settling, but definitely updating what's important and go from there. Okay, so they're updating what's important. So now we have some men watching the show, so some men have chimed in. But I'm not gonna lie, like I can take care of myself.
Yeah.
But in my 40s, I want somebody to take care of me.
I don't think it's necessary somebody to take care. I think you want that partner, that life partner, whether it's marriage or not.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. And listen, I'm not ashamed to say this. Trinique, I'm not ashamed to say this. I can take care of myself, been taking care of myself for a very long time. I have no problems taking care of myself. But my desire in my 40s is to be with a man that's more than capable. Know that I can take care of both of us if need be.
Right.
Like, let's just get that out there. I could, but as a woman and embracing my feminine energy and allowing these men to be men, being the men that they say they want to be, yes, my desire is for a man to take care of the household and do his job as a man, because that's what men are supposed to do, provide, profess, and protect.
That's what they're supposed to do.
But that's
who made that rule?
Who
made that rule up?
Right. Not what men say they want. They were their providers, their hunters, their protectors. So go out and protect.
But who made that rule up? That was. We're in a day and age
now. That's how
we
grew up.
Right. That's how we grew up. We're in a day and age now where you need to come together as one and be able to take care of each other. Like for me,
so I hear what you're saying, and I can. So my thing is, I have the ability. If you lose your job, if you're unable to, I'm there. I'm your rib. I'm your backbone. I'm going to support you. But I still desire a traditional marriage. Like I need you to pay all this mortgage.
Okay. And so if you say you want the traditional marriage, see, I'm at a point now. I just want somebody that's going to love me, do right by me, not cheat, just spend time with me, have fun with me, be adventurous with me. That other stuff.
But why can't you have it all? Why are you? Because I feel like that's settling. Because we can ruffle some feathers because because you can take care of yourself. Because I know you can take care of yourself. You can take care of the man if you have to. And so yes, your desire is to have love and peace and companionship. I want that also. I also want somebody to pay my mortgage.
Well, I
want what you want.
So so let's just say, would you want that person to take care? Would you settle for the person that can pay your mortgage, or would you get the one that they show you affection and love?
Hold on 1 second. Say that again.
So would you settle for the person that could pay your mortgage and do all those traditional things, or would you want the person that's going to show you love, affection, and be there for you and to help contribute?
I want it all. I'm not even gonna lie. I deserve all of it.
I'm not saying you don't deserve it, but sometimes we spend too many years worrying about well, this is what we deserve.
That's where
we won't get what's right in front of us because we want what we deserve. It's not that we don't deserve it, but we don't know what God's plan is. The man may not start off like that, but that doesn't mean he won't finish like that.
Right. But when you're 40, but if you haven't, you're 40.
I've been single for Mel. I've been single for so long. I have been the one that they have walked around and never picked. And you know me, but they've never picked me. You. And I never boast or never brag. I never do any of that. But as being in my 40s now has learned me to sit back and, hey, is that serious?
Hey, Trinika, are you single? Are you single? Like you're single. Like, yes. Single. Hey, Mer, we don't care that Trinika's preaching right now, okay?
I'm just saying, a lot of women that have had companions all their whole life, it's harder for them to understand the woman that has not had those kind of companions, has not been on those dates. So we see things a little bit different because we have not had those things and we've desired those things that those women have. And the women that do have it, they take it for granted because they're so used to having a guy. A guy will always want them. I even had a guy at school, he said, a guy walked past me, he said, he looked at me and he said, well, she high maintenance. How do you know that? If you don't ever say a word to me,
because you carry yourself like
because I carry myself a certain way.
High maintenance. But
why? Because she keeps
but here's the thing about Trinika, though. I know her. Trinika is the most humbling.
But see, people don't know that just on the outside because I get told that
most humbling energy. I mean, like when I say giving and loving and patient and kind, and those are the attributes that men say that they want, especially from a woman in their 40s. Hey, Trinika, Merv just put up your that banging body picture once again. Okay, I think he's trying to get.
But I want them to want me for my mind. Like, yeah, the body is there, but I want you to love me and learn me. I don't want you to look at me for the stuff I have or the way I can. Because should I? And I told the guy, I said, well, you telling me I should change the way I dress? I should change the way I present myself for someone to desire me?
I want you to look homeless, honey.
I'm
you know why? Because people feel threatened. But
men, not people.
No,
men.
I'm speaking from a woman and a woman point of view. Like, I don't date men, so even they think I'm the exact opposite of what I am, and I've been like told that since I was young. I look mean. I look like I'm not approachable. X, Y, and Z. So when people look at you, they look at the shell, and that's an instant judgment right there.
Mm-hmm.
Instant.
Do you feel like you've gotten this judgment your whole life? For you?
Yeah. Absolutely.
In your 20s, 30s, 40s, high school?
Absolutely.
Trinika, you said yes as well? Yep. Me as well.
They say I feel like I look like I have a mean face. Even my brother said that. He said, you just look like you got a mean face. I said, but a lot of times if you don't, I'm looking through you thinking of what I got to do 2-3 days down the line. It's not that I'm angry about it. I feel like you need to get to know the person. I think a lot of times we don't do that. We don't get to know people because if we get to know people, we will realize, man, they really down to earth. They cool.
Exactly.
Well, do you take the time in your 40s to get to know men?
Yeah, but I don't get
the way you view the way you approach relationships. Is it different now than it was when you were in your 30s? Do you have a different approach?
No, I'm just still that fun person. Like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. If the conversation goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. If it don't, they don't. But like I said, I'm not the one that they approach because they're assuming and they go around and around.
No, let me tell you something, Trinika. It's not an assumption. It's intimidation. That's all that is. It's an intimidation. As soon as they see you're out of shell, it's intimidation.
Do you date differently in your 30s than you do in your 40s?
Did I? Hell yeah. Like, I ain't gonna say in my 40s I don't put up with it because my last relationship I put up with a lot of shit. But starting from there, starting at 43 and like the shit I settled and I fucking compromised everything but who I am.
Right.
And I was like, girl, what the hell is wrong with you? And I did everything I said I wouldn't ever do again. But when I love very, very hard.
Right.
And there's nothing I wouldn't do for somebody. But it's not always reciprocated. And I think we don't understand that part But that was probably the hardest thing. Like, how can you treat me like this?
Right.
And I've done X, Y, and Z, but that is just who they are.
Right.
And you have to get to a point where you just accept people for who they are.
Let's talk about acceptance real quick. Who, glory, hallelujah. I spent a lot of my 20s and 30s just trying to like understand. Like I butted heads with a lot of people because I had a hard time just like trying to understand. And so now I'm at a point where I just gotta be honest, like that's who you are. Like I spend more time now like that, like I don't have to have a level of understanding. I'm not going to rebuttal you. There's no rebuttals. There's no argument. If you show me who you are, then it is what it is. I'm not going to spend any more time in my 40s trying to change you, trying to force it. If you love me, if you're there for me, when I say you love me, it could be a friendship. Like it could be a platonic friendship. It could be a good female friend. So I know that in my 30s, I spent a lot of time because I'm the relentless go-getter. I'm the one that wants to know it all, that wants to have it all, that's going to go out and get it. But now that I'm moving toward my 40s, I'm like, what I desire most of all is peace. I don't have to have an understanding of who you are and how you're moving. Once you show me what it is and what it looks like, that's just what it is. And so I know, honestly, the way that I've dated in my 30s or the way I've approached any situation, I'm gonna have a little more discernment. I have a little bit more of understanding of that's just who you are. And I don't have to know the reasons why you made the decisions that you made. Because once you made that decision, that's just the decision that you made. And so do you guys feel like you're more forgiving in your 40s than you were in your 30s, and not just towards the men, just like in everything in general? For example, I flew in from Florida this morning. Murph, can you put up Quashir's birthday picture, the one with the balloons? She was supposed to be on tonight, but she has some technical difficulties. I just want to shout out my cousin, 40 and fabulous, 4 kids. Yes. Okay. 4 kids, fine as I don't know what. And I spent the weekend with her celebrating her 40th birthday. 4 kids, once again, ladies and gentlemen. She is married, though, so we can take her off the screen. We'll have her back on next time. But I was with her this weekend, and I found myself just going with the flow. Like things bothered me.
Wasn't it peaceful?
It was peaceful. It was like I had a girls' trip. It was peaceful, no issues. And even when I felt like being Mel, because there's a Mel and there's a Beatrice.
Oh yes, man.
Even though I felt like being Mel is like in my 30s, like checking somebody if I feel disrespected, like who are you? Like, did you really just say that? But as I'm moving into my 40s, I'm just like, I don't have time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I desire peace.
Yeah.
And so, Trinika, do you desire peace, or do you just like peace or respect? Because sometimes you got to make a decision. Like, are you gonna let this person, man, woman, or other, disrespect you, or you just gonna let it go because you know how people are now?
Right.
You have an understanding.
Right. And my 40s, I'm at peace. I'm like, you don't even matter. I'm not gonna spend my energy on you. I'm not gonna waste any energy on you when I could be spending on something that's more important. Because if you let someone rattle you, for what? Letting them have power over you for what? You're not worth my time or my energy for that. Let me move on to the next thing that deserves my energy. And that's in everything. That's in life in general. Because I mean, who doesn't want respect? But peace that's a mental. Like priceless. I don't need. Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to come to that level of understanding that you desire peace over respect?
I can't even tell you. It's not a timeline. It's just, it comes day by day, just realizing that it's not even worth that. Like, it's not worth me. It's a day by day thing. Now, don't get me wrong. The 305 is still in me. But at the same time, I've learned how to push that down and say, you're not even worth that. I'm gonna keep it moving. Because I know where that can go. And I'm bigger than that. I've evolved from that young girl that grew up in those 4-7
Every now and then she got to come out.
Listen,
every now and then you got to let her know. Every now and then.
Hey!
You got to let them know. How can I
Tanika
say
said I'm not a killer, but
how can people say every now and then you gotta let them know I'm not a or hello.
Right. I'm not a yeah. Hey, something let you no.
Listen,
I feel you on that.
So Pete, so you said peace over respect.
Well, I feel like,
or you want both?
Yeah, both. But I feel like this, and this is just on some experiences I've had with people, you know, that I've once been really close to, or whatever.
Okay. But no, finish, and then we're gonna hold that comment.
I feel like when when you are in a peaceful place, that peaceful state already demands respect without demanding it.
Right.
Because, and once you're in that peaceful state, you don't give a fuck what the next person says, things to do. You don't even like, I've gotten into or not even arguments where somebody's rah, rah, rah on the phone, and I ain't talked to them till years later. And they're like, damn, I thought everything was going to cool down and you'll call me back. It's been no. Like, I don't like that it's too much energy. Like I said, I value peace so much that if it comes to a point, I will never beg for a pillow and a blanket. I'll sleep in my fucking car first.
Come on, you can come sleep at my house.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think with peace, the respect is the demand of respect is already a given.
Right.
Once you're in that peaceful state.
Right. Okay. I feel you on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna go to the audience. We have Mr. Merv Dees. Men want more peace as we get older than anything else, even looks. Still want someone attractive, but gotta bring a form of peace.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have an issue with men saying that they want peace because I have found in dating as I move towards my 40s that men say they want peace, but then they don't do anything to make the peace happen. I'm just
They throw the rock and hide the hand.
Yeah, they throw the rock and hide the hand.
Yeah.
Some men, not all men, because I know all men aren't that way, but some men, they say they desire peace over someone being attractive, but yet they're not doing anything to foster or generate that peace. But then they do have some unattractive females, okay? And those are the ones that are giving them peace because they have to. Yeah, I said what I said. Now you can come on in the comments and tell me how you feel about my statement. And that's not me being, that is the wisdom that I've learned in my 40s. And that's the way society is. There is a bias towards unattractive people. And so sometimes when you're unattractive, you have low self-esteem. So you will endure and you will accept more things than others will.
And that people prey on that.
And then some people,
people prey on that insecurities and knowing that.
And I open a can of worms, Shanika. I know.
You see what he said? Can you hear me? Yeah, you open. I can't hear you. You opened a can of worms right there.
Come on back in the room. Come on back in the room. I probably shouldn't be singing this with my communion wine tonight, huh?
Yeah, you opened some worms. You opened some.
What'd you say?
You opened a can of worms.
I did. And I'm all right with that.
Because
I didn't make this rule. Society made this pretty bias, not me. I didn't do that.
You're thinking now in society, I feel like it's more so social media. In the day and age of social media, people have these celebrity expectations or these celebrity lives they want to live, and it's like, who are you fooling?
I think they've intensified it. I think social media
Oh,
was
yeah,
always
most
there, but
definitely.
they've intensified it with the filters, the different things that you can do. Where I think there was one that the young lady took a picture in the bathroom and she only got maybe 100 likes. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. And then she took another picture with her just her bra on, and she got over 1,000 likes. And it just kind of shows you that people will do anything and everything to be accepted.
Yes.
But just be and almost like sometimes people care more about social media than they do everyday people that are in.
Oh
their
yeah,
life.
they do. They live for it.
It's like
because it's a part. I feel like it's an acceptance. They want that acceptance.
Who? Somebody say you lost your connection. See, God don't like ugly. Listen, listen. It's not my fault that there's a pretty person bias, and that sometimes unattractive people settle, and men don't really desire the peace that they say they desire. Because they don't do nothing to bring peace. I'm just saying, I open a can of worms. Why not? You can come on. I can give you the link to come on and tell us how you feel, because we do have a good another 30 minutes, just depending upon how everything pans out. But that's just my opinion. I have encountered men in their late 30s, early 40s that say they desire peace, but they don't really desire it because they're not doing anything to foster that peace. Listen, I didn't say all men. I said some men.
Just based on your experience, or
just based on my experience. Trinika, how do you feel about that? I didn't put this pretty person bias out there. I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
I think how me and T were saying, I think social media has intensified it to make women believe and make men believe too, because it's not just women. Make them believe that they have to just settle just because they want to have. Because in a certain time in your life, you feel like you just got to have somebody. You just want to have somebody. And some people get, not all, some people get just desperate, and they will just get with somebody just to get with somebody to say that they have somebody. I'd rather be alone and know I'm alone than be with somebody and still feel alone.
Oh, say it one more time. Say it again for the people in the back that didn't hear you.
I don't want to do it. I'd rather be alone and know I'm alone than to be with somebody and still feel alone.
And see, that's how I feel, because everybody's like, you need to date. Granted, I'm like very, very picky. But she
needs to date.
But my thing is, if there's no attraction, like, what are we doing? I'm dating with a purpose now,
but you're not dating anyone
because it ain't nothing purposeful out there to date. That's how I feel about it. I haven't found anybody that I'm attracted to, like, and I don't even think it's just that. I think my thing is, I know how it feels to be hurt, and I don't never want somebody to get caught up in feelings and emotions with me, and I haven't let that love go completely.
So you're not dating because you don't feel.
No. I'm just saying that I have done that up until this last one.
But in this moment, why aren't you dating?
Because I'm not attracted to nobody.
Have you put yourself out there to find someone that you're attracted to?
I go out every weekend, damn near. Like, there's nobody in Columbia.
Trinika, do you feel
I'm going to Atlanta. I'm about to go to Tampa. I'm about to go to Miami. My brother lives down there. Like, there's nothing. Like, I don't want to do Dora the Explorer no more. That's a wrap.
Okay, Dora the Explorer is what? Tell people on the other end what Dora the Explorer
Tinder is Dora the Explorer.
Swiper, no swiping.
No, we're not doing that no more. But my thing is, like, I don't know. It's like, I feel like sometimes I'm in the stage where fuck all this shit. I don't even care at this point, because I'm just like, sometimes I want that relationship and other times I don't, because I feel like with wanting it or even having it, it comes heartbreak, and I don't want to feel that shit ever again.
Listen,
Trinika,
I gotta be honest. I don't care how many times my heart gets broken. I'm going back in with the same intensity.
I still believe in it
every single time.
But if it's not right, it's not right.
I'm going in dumb. I'm going in naive.
I ain't going in dumb.
I'm going in eyes wide shut.
No, man, you better crack.
Everybody gets a clean slate. Like, I can't.
I believe in a clean slate, but I believe you don't have to be no damn dummy.
Listen, I'm a dummy. I'm gonna be a dummy until you prove me otherwise. Okay? I'm going.
Wait.
Eyes wide shut.
Wait.
Trinika, eyes wide shut. I'm dumb.
No, wait.
I'm naive.
Wait.
Well, when you get 40, bitch, you ain't gonna do none of that shit no more.
Cause you ain't got time to waste, huh, T? You ain't got no time to waste. You ain't got no time to waste. I mean, you absolutely should not.
I got some that got them gray hairs. I'm like, what the fuck?
Listen, I got 3.
No, I got a head full. They all over. I'm like, I'm about to die.
But listen, one of my homeboys told me, they was like, Mel, you don't date the right way. They was like, you 40. They told me I was 40 years old. I had time. I don't have that much time. So they said I don't date the right way. And I was like, well, how does a 40-year-old date?
Because you don't let so much shit slide no more.
No, not about letting stuff slide. What they said is, if you're not going to date multiple people, then you need to weed them out quickly.
I can't do that.
Meaning, so he was like, homeboy, he was like, you don't date the right way. He was like, you date until you can take no more from that person. And then you move on to someone else. It was like, if you go in there, you date multiple people, let the best man win, or you throw that reel out. And as soon as you find out those red flags, you cut them loose and move on to the next person.
I can agree with that.
Made up
I know everyone is not made like that.
I can get with that.
How do you date now versus how you dated in your 30s? So you're 41 right now. When you were 31, how did you date? Were you the date until they piss you off and you can't take anymore? Or you were a serial dater, or you cut them loose real quick?
She said a serial dater.
Right,
no, I mean, honestly, it wasn't me cutting them off. It was more so them just saying, you're a good woman, you deserve more. And it was just, that's what it was. Because it wasn't, I know my limits. Now, I will say the last one I had, it was more so like, okay, I told you from the get-go that I wanted to eventually be married and have kids. But my thing is, if we're talking those kind of conversations at the beginning and you're saying yes, 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 but then you later on, it's like, oh, well, I'm not really ready for that. Why are we wasting each other's time? Like, you knew what you wanted from the get-go. You knew I wasn't in your city, but you knew I was willing to travel to come see you. Then if that's not, you want somebody in your city right now, well, why are we wasting time?
Pause, ladies and gentlemen. Trinika, I just want y'all to hear what Trinika just said. She said she'll travel to your city.
Okay,
this
but if you for real about that person, why not?
Beauty, brains, retirement, pension, got a whole nother career she about to collect retirement from. This woman said that she would travel.
Yeah.
And this man said, I'm not ready.
They want their cake and eat it too, right?
Right.
They say what needs to be said
in the beginning.
But when they get you, girl, I'm saying.
So Trinika, so when you were 30 years old, how would you have handled that situation versus how you handled it at 40?
I probably would have kept going and trying my hardest to make it work.
See? And so the 40-year-old Trinika, what did Trinika do?
Trinika said, that's enough. It's in your face. It's in your face. Like, he's telling you he's not interested, so let it go. You can only do what you can do. When you've done what you can do, you have peace of where you can just walk away and say, you know what? That's your loss, not mine.
Yeah.
Because you've shown me one too many. Because I'm not just going to cut you off at the first time. I'm going to give you another chance to figure this thing out. Because I understand that, you could be trying to figure, you're a good woman, but I don't know. But after you do that multiple, we can't keep playing this game. You've shown me one too many times where you stand with this. So let's go ahead and let's cease to this thing. But it was a question in here. The why not? He said something about the basis of
hey,
peace.
Can we put why not's comment back up? And something I wonder who this why not is. I wonder why they didn't put a real name on here. I'd like to invite
why not you come on this show?
Why not you come on this show? Why not, Mr. and or Mrs.?
What did
it say? So it says something about peace.
Something about the baselines of the baseline should be of peace. And yes, the baseline should be of peace, but I also think there should be chemistry too. That baseline should be chemistry. You got to have chemistry with that person. You got to be attracted to each other. But it was another part to that I was worrying about.
Sorry, I can't get on to talk.
What was the question before that? I wanted to see the question before that. It was something they put up.
Comment before that.
It was yes, yeah.
They were something about the baseline and the baseline of peace.
Mm-hmm. I think because when we're in our 40s, you're tired of playing games. You want somebody that's real. Just be real with me. If I ask you what's your name, you got a wife or you got. Tell me that.
I think that hurts the most because when you get to the point where you genuinely love someone, like genuinely, and they're just fucking lying to, and you know it, but when you call them out on it,
they still lie.
They still fucking lie, like, and it's a level of disrespect. I'm like, man, fuck that, because you did the ultimate form of fucking disrespect, like the ultimate.
So I'm about to say something that's unpopular because I am. This is an unpopular opinion, but you know me, I ruffle feathers. It is what it is. When I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I would say, just tell me the truth. Tell me the truth, and I'm not gonna be mad. Tell me the truth. Now I'm in my 40s. I'm like, lie to me. Just lie to me. Lie to me because I
can't have you lying to me.
In my 40s, and this is unpopular. I don't care what any woman says. You think you can handle the truth, but when that man really gives you the truth, honey, you're not gonna be able to handle that. Lie to me.
No,
I'm
don't
just
tell
being
me
funny
the truth.
because this is a show.
No.
I'm just
don't
being
tell
funny.
me. Run me the truth.
Tell me the truth. Continue to tell me the truth. But damn if the truth don't hurt, Trinika.
Of course
Damn,
it hurts. But I'd rather you tell me the truth and let me deal with that hurt and let me heal versus you keep lying to me and I'm steady hurt.
So I'm struggling, like real life. I'm like, lie to me, tell me the truth. Lie to me.
Trinika, what's your sign?
I'm a Taurus, baby. I'm a Taurus. Bull all day.
You
13.
That's fire, right? Taurus is fire.
That's bull. That's that bull.
The bull, and so is Sagittarius. So okay.
What's that song that girl says? Love me good and lie to me. You know that song?
I don't want to be lied to, man.
Lie to me.
Lied to too much.
Lie to me. Let me
Don't
live
lie
my
to me.
little la la land. Let me.
Please,
You and your fairy tales in your 20s, baby. You becoming mature in them 30s, and you definitely are mature in the 40s.
Yes.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
The baseline should be peace. How can one summons peace from a peaceful baseline? I do agree, however, that a few men and a little more women like chaos. Leave then to deal with each other. Okay, the baseline should be peace. How can one summons peace from a peaceful baseline? I do agree, however, that a few men and a little more women like chaos. Leave then to deal with each other. Okay. So, Trinika, there's our comment.
I think your baseline should be chemistry. The peacefulness comes with you're getting to know each other as you're growing in a relationship. It won't necessarily, I mean, of course, I mean, if you meet somebody and you are already arguing with them, why you want to continue that? Because if you starting off arguing, that's how you're going to finish. But if you meet somebody, you rocking with them and that chemistry is dope and y'all coasting, to let it be what it's going to be.
That's what I'm searching for.
Trinika, at 41, do you have a cutoff time? Do you have a cutoff? Like if you dated someone and you set your intentions from day one, because you said on this podcast, you want kids, you want to be married, you want to live together. That's something that's your desire. So if you put those desires out there in the very beginning, how long do you give a man, or do you ask them what their intentions are? Like in your 40s, like how do you state your intentions, and how long do you give a man to either get to know them with your intentions or cut them loose and let them go?
Within those first couple conversations, I'm gonna let you know where I stand. Like if this is not what you're looking for, hey, we can stay friends and stay cool, but this is what I'm looking for. So if you're not looking to have more kids, if you have kids, let's move on. If you're not looking to be married one day, let's move on. Let's not waste each other's time. It's nothing personal.
The
first couple conversations, you're gonna know that.
Okay, hold that thought. How do you, when you're dating in your 40s versus your 30s, how do you know, when do you cut that person off?
Man, for me, like I said, the conversations, but typically the conversations go where they always agree with everything I want, everything I see. It's an agreement. Oh yeah. But it's when I hit that stage where I'm like all the way in, that's when they start revealing their real self. And that's when it's harder to separate.
That's it. So
it's hard as fuck.
So I wanted to talk about representatives, because the first couple of conversations is nothing but someone's representative. We, even in our 30s, even in our 40s, when you talk about living your true authentic self, living your complete whole self, your whole life, it's like you want someone, you're going to give your best representation in those first conversations. And I feel like sometimes we as women, and maybe sometimes men, we don't cut men or women off sooner because they have a representation. Based off of what you just said, a representative, excuse me. Based off of what you just said, people bring their best self. So how many conversations do you go in with them until you figure it out that this is a representative?
That's right. We all bring our best representation to those first couple dates and conversations on the phone.
And sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but Marvin says equally yoked is huge and not utilized enough. But how do you know in those initial conversations if you guys are equally yoked?
I don't feel like the first few conversations are genuinely who the person is. I think the first set of conversations is who we want them to be in our mind, and they agree with what we want. Like you said, you told him, and at first he was like, yeah. He was all for everything. And then how far in did you go? And he was like,
It was about 2 months he went in.
Because let me tell you something. The first 3 months is the honeymoon. After 3 months, you know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
They can't.
And
you can't
able
fake
to
for
cut
so
it off
long.
quicker. Yeah, you're able to cut it off quicker because I've already told you my expectations at the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So now I don't, because this is the thing. If we don't have those uncomfortable conversations in our 40s, because we don't have time to waste, right? Then you're dragging me along. Then you're like, well, you never asked
just to have me in your life.
Yeah, you never asked me that, and I'm gonna ask you at the beginning so you know what you're dealing with. I'm not gonna hide behind a mask. I'm gonna let you know exactly who I am and what I'm looking for. So whenever you say, "Oh, I could," but I told you from the get-go what I was looking for.
Yeah,
so you gotta be straight up. You gotta be straight up. You gotta tell them what you want. How men can't read our minds, and it's vice versa. You can't read people's minds. So I'm gonna let you know straight up what I'm looking for, and either you're looking for that or you're not. If you're looking for that, okay, let's see where this can go. If you're not looking for that, cool, we can be friends and keep it moving.
I feel you. So still keeping it classy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like, T, that you are more adventurous sexually in your 40s than you were in your 30s, but still keeping it classy?
I think once I'm there with that, see, sex to me is more than an act. It's that connection. Like it's that yearning for just the warmth of the body itself. Mm-hmm. Like if I don't have that connection with them, I don't care about sex. I can go without it.
Right.
But when I was younger, I mean, I didn't care about that. Like in my 20s, my 30s, 40s, that's where I'm definitely at with that. If I don't have that desire for you, just the act of it itself, I don't want that. I'll go without.
I'll take it. Shanika, what about you? Are you more adventurous in your 40s or you're more calm in your 40s?
More adventurous, I would say. But I mean, I'm like T. Like it's more at this point in my life and in my stage, I'm looking for that connection with somebody. It's not about the sex. When it comes, it comes, and
but honey, when it comes, it's over.
Hey,
the adventure is on. The adventure is on.
Listen, but that's all about the chemistry we talked about,
right?
Got to be the chemistry.
Right.
So the chemistry allows you in your 40s to be more adventurous because you're comfortable with that person. You're more comfortable. You can be more open.
And it's not just an act.
It's not just
feeling,
an act,
right?
Yeah. Do you feel like as you're moving towards your 41, 43.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're more in tune with yourself, that you know yourself, that you know what your expectations are, that you know that the next relationship that you get in, the next serious relationship is going to be your last because you already know what your expectations are?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. So you already know without a shadow of a doubt, the next man that you get into a serious relationship with is going to be your husband.
No, wait. You just changed that. Wait a minute. No. I would hope that next one is, but you can't. There's no guarantee on that.
That's true.
You're literally saying that person's going to be the one. I would hope that they are the one. I would hope that I would find the one that I have prayed for, but it's no guarantees to that.
Okay, so you do the Sierra prayer. You got your prayer.
No, I do my prayer. I do my prayer to the Lord that He gonna bless me with the right one. That's Sierra's prayer. Sierra's prayer. I have my own prayer.
What? I mean, I know. Let me get some pen and paper out so I can write down my prayer.
Your prayer is your prayer. My prayer is my prayer.
Oh well. What kind of man? What kind of man in your 40s are you looking for, Shanika?
Somebody that's for real. That's ready.
For real, that's ready.
Yep, because if I put anything else with it, then that person, some people will come to you because of the things that you say out your mouth, and they're gonna be in character.
Specific.
They're gonna, I'm
to
specific with God,
very specific.
But I'm not. But I've learned not to be specific. Like when a guy on the phone with you, he be like, "Well, what is it you're looking for in a man?" if I tell him everything, then he gonna become that person just to get me where he
For the
wants.
first
And then
2
when
months.
he done.
Yeah.
You're right. What about you, friend?
What was the question again?
The question was like the next person that you date, because you know what your expectations are, you know what you're looking for. And I like what you said. If you tell a man what you want, they're gonna be that person. We're gonna come back to that.
I like Tanika said, I would hope so. I mean, like, you don't really know. Hell, I thought my last one was it. I just knew, like, the shit I did I was like, I'm all in. This is it. But I hope so. I mean, that's my wish. I mean, shit, I ain't getting any younger.
Listen, I feel you. I'm not getting any younger. But
if it's not,
then it is what it is. Yeah. So I want to get to a place, Tanika T, as I move into my 40s, that I can look at a relationship from a mindset of, this relationship taught me something. I am grateful for the experiences that I had with this person, as opposed to that was a waste of my time. Because when you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, you're like, you spend 2 years, 3 years, 4 years with a man, and then that technically, if it didn't manifest into anything, if it didn't turn out to be a long-term life partnership or a marriage, or a committed relationship, then you really feel like you're wasting your time. And so I think about the woman that I want to be, I want to be able to say, I appreciate the experience that we had. I love the good times that we had, as opposed to, you really wasted my time. And so I just think about the woman that I want to be versus where I am, and I'm just trying to figure out how to get there, because low key I just be wanting to, you know what I'm saying? I just be wanting to, just like, you really wasted my time. But on the left side of my mind, I'm like, but I had some amazing experiences. We had a great time. And so I'm like, how do you come to that place? How do you come and does that come in your 40s, or is that, like, should that be the expectation of relationships? Like should that be what you aspire to? I guess is my question. Did I ask a question?
No, not really. You kind of just said a statement.
But
yeah,
I see what.
But how do you feel about my statement?
But my thing is, when you hear it, see it, and know it, motherfucking believe it. Like, don't ever lie to yourself. It's a difference somebody lying to you and you lying to yourself. When you see the cheating or the lie, see it, hear it, and know it, like, just believe it. Like, it is what it is. And I think we hold on to those good times with that person, but those are just moments in time. That's not the time that we want for the remaining of our time. We want those good moments all the time with this person. Right. So it is easy, like, to hold on to those moments, but they are just that. They are just moments. Okay. And the disrespect and the lies and the cheating, those are moments too, but those are the moments of hurt. Right. And sometimes those moments of hurt outweigh the good. Okay. I mean, that's just my outlook on it.
Okay. That's fair.
How do you feel about that? Sometimes we close our eyes to things we really don't want to see because we want it to work that bad. And that's where we mess up. And then when it's done, we sit back. And once we sit back and start reminiscing, it was in our face all along. Yeah. But we saw what we wanted to see.
That's what I did. I knew it. I saw it, heard it, all that stuff. I didn't want to believe it. And they, knowing I saw it, heard, and did the lies on top of the lies on top of the lies. Right. Like, and because you hold on to those moments and you love that person so much, you want to believe them. And we're the ones that hurt in the long run. Because when they're done with us, they're done with us. Right. We've served our purpose.
They moved on.
Right. We've served our purpose. And then we're left stuck hurt.
And that's because y'all don't serial date.
I can't. I ain't
That's because y'all haven't built a basketball team.
That's just too much.
Tanika, you got a team, or you date one at a time?
I don't have a team. I'm not dating anyone.
But when you do.
But when I do date, I don't have a team. It's just kind of that one. I may have a couple people I conversate with on the phone, but it's one that's always calling a little bit more than the rest, or I'm communicating with a little bit more than the rest. The one that wants to go out, and go out to dinner and stuff like that. So
Tranika, I'm with you. I'm not a serial dater. Like I date one person until it's all said and done. And then until I'm forced to move on. It's like, dang, I ain't want to have to let you go, but now it's time to go.
Thought you were the one. I thought you were the one. I thought you were the one.
Right. So we are coming on to 9/19, and we had some other guest stars on the show, and some technical difficulties happened. But at the end of the day, I guess 40 is a mindset.
Yeah, it is.
40 is a mindset. So my wrap up is sometimes I gotta pat myself on the back because I'm doing a good job. Okay, I'm doing the best that I can do as I move into my 40s. I know that I can see I envision the woman that I am, that I want to be at 40, and I know I'm not there yet. But I know that I have 2 years, and I've got to iron out some of these anxieties that I have about being able to love myself and know myself, and just move into my 40s like Tranika with her fine self, and like my cousin with her fine self. You know, like, Latia, her fine self. Vanessa, 41 years old, looking like Borico. What do you say? How you say it?
Chiquita Banana.
Chiquita, don't do that. Looking like a bombshell, okay? Because she's a bombshell at 40. And I just, I think that these 30-year-olds and these 20-year-olds, they really do need to look out, because when you come into your 40s, it's like it's a grace, it's a peace, it's a level of refinement that we have, because we've been there, we've done that, and we're not going back there. But if Tranika got to go back to 305, guess what? And listen, I stayed in Henley Homes for a brief stint of my life. And if you take me back there, then I'll just have to get there. But I try not to. So my wrap up for tonight is I got to pat myself on the back because, thank you, friend.
I'm proud of you.
Hold on, one more time.
I'm proud of you.
Because I'm doing a good job.
You are.
As hard as it is, as hard as I am on myself, I hope that I have the same outlook that you have, Tranika, at 41. My cousin said, I was with her this morning and yesterday, and I said, how do you feel about going into 40? And she said, girl, this is the best time of my life. She said, I know, my kids are, moving on, and I'm getting ready to change careers, or, I think she's getting ready to work on her PhD. And she said she knows herself more than she's ever had in her entire life. It's like an awakening when you get to 40. You shouldn't be afraid, and just embrace it. And I'm afraid, I ain't gonna lie. But I have some time, and my tribe is gonna help me get there and feel good and confident as I move on to that stair step of 40. So that's my wrap up tonight. Sometimes you got to pat yourself on the back. You got to see the woman that you want to be, because I know who I want to be, and I know I've got a little bit of things, some internal things to work on, so that I can get there to be the woman that I want to be for myself, for my children, and for my future partner. Because y'all already know I don't really care about getting married, because the only woman looking for a husband is one who never had one. I already had one. I'll take a life partner, and me and him can ride out into the sunset. Okay, but I know that there's a place that I have to get within myself before that life partner is going to come into my life, so I can be the best life partner for that person. Now, I do want to say this: if that life partnership leads to a marriage, I'm all right with that. But I'm not going into it saying that I have to be married. I want to be married, because I'm okay with that. So that's my wrap up for tonight. Tranika, you haven't come onto our show a lot, but as we move down to the end and we come to our closing, we like to do a wrap up of how we feel about the show. Would you come back on as a part of Mel's tribe, Mel's friends? And what's your wrap up? What's your feedback for tonight?
Just live your life. Live life to the fullest. Tomorrow's not promised us, as we can see. With everything that has happened in the last 2 years, just enjoy it. Whatever age you're becoming, the next age you're getting to, just enjoy it. Just make it more adventures than the last year that you had. Do the things that you didn't get to do the last year that you wanted to do. Just continue to keep pushing yourself and pushing forward. And of course, Mel, I would definitely come back on your show and rock with you.
Come on, friend.
It's been a blessing, and I've enjoyed it.
Yes, fine at 41. Hey, y'all. I'm not gonna give y'all her geographical location. Just know she travels. And if you want to figure out how to meet this beautiful, virtuous, bombshell diva, 41, looking like she's 25, hit me up and I'll pass your number along. She already said she travels, but by the way, she wants kids and she knows she wants to be married. So if y'all not trying to get on that number, y'all can keep it moving. T, what is your what's your wrap up for tonight? You see how I plugged you, friend?
Right. my wrap up is still, I believe in love. I'm confident I will be too married one day, because that's something, or not even just marriage, just a lifelong partner with them legal papers.
Legal
papers.
Because we need those benefits.
Where I got,
we need a life insurance.
Well, yeah.
You can't get life insurance if you're not on the
right.
Listen.
We need something happens, but no, I just want somebody that I can just be myself with, and and we just wake up every morning just happy for that moment, and just take it day by day. I don't feel like that's asking for a lot.
That's not asking for a lot.
Okay.
Well, that's a good wrap up. Hey, I got a background guy. He does his thing. His name is Merv Dees. He is the bond.com. Will you just go through our 40 plus pictures real quick? Because I just need all of them. Everybody that couldn't even be on the show tonight. Because I just need these fine folks out here to see these 40 and fabulous bombshells that we have. Oh, yes. Yes, T. Come on, fine. 40 and fabulous.
Ooh.
Yes, this is Miss Fish and Grits. This is Miss Terry. She has her own podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Fish and Grits, Miss Terry. Terry's a beautiful bombshell. Come on, Vanessa, with your fine self, 41 years old, looking good. Looking good.
Hey, cousin.
I mean, come on. 4 kids. This girl right here had 4 kids. We just celebrated her birthday in Florida yesterday. An amazing husband, beautiful energy, beautiful spirit. Hopefully we'll be able to get her back on. But she was on a show. Her name is Quashir on Q, if you're nasty. Just joking. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bombshell 40. I love you and happy birthday. All I want for my birthday is a big booty.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
All right. Oh, yes.
Okay.
See? Yes. You better give them serving body, virtuous, intelligent, beautiful, and she travels, by the way. She's single. I mean, she's so single, she can have her phone unlocked.
Girl, and no face out. You can hold to the face.
You listen. That's how single she is, gentlemen. So hit me up. I'll screen them for you. Okay, hit me
Don't
up.
let her do that. Don't let her.
All right, and then last but not least, who do we have? Who is that? Yes.
Okay,
come on. I'm about to be 40 with an 18-year-old and a 10-year-old, and just trying to figure out.
By the time he turns 40, he's gonna be 20.
Oh man, my son's gonna be. My son is getting ready to go to prom. Shanika, Alex is getting ready to go to prom. He's getting ready to go to prom.
I didn't see this date.
So hey, I just want to thank all of our viewers, everyone that commented. The Guys Podcast, thank you for giving me this platform every other Sunday featuring Mel and friends. You can follow us on Twitter at The Guys Podcast 2. You can follow us on Instagram at The Guys Pod. Catch us on Blackjack TV, Zingo TV, Channel 198, Primetime Sports with Wagering Network. And I think that's enough for tonight. Thank you for all of our sponsors. We love you. We appreciate you. And until next time, cheers. Good night. Look, we're empty.
Oh, yeah. We need a refill.
Good night, guys. Thank you so much for a great show, Trinika. We will see you next time. I love you and be blessed.